Hi everyone, welcome back to UiPath tutorials. So today in this video I am going to show you some of the questions on merge activities which will help you in your UiARD exam. Before I start with the merge activity, I am hoping that you have already gone through my previous session on background process automation, RE framework and state machine questions, filter activity, invoke method and invoke code, mail and PDF activities. So you will find all the UIRD questions or all the UIRD related questions in UIRD exam preparation playlist. You can watch individual videos or you can start from the session 1. And today we will going to create a video on the merge activity which will be a session 7 for us. Now we have already created 6 sessions on each topic. Let's move to the questions on merge activity. The question 1 is, figure 1 have data of sheet 1 and figure 2 have data of sheet 2. So this is sheet 1, this is sheet 2 basically, where we are having a 3 columns with the name, class, roll number. With in the sheet 1 where we are having a 3 records, Rahul, Kishle and Shudhanshu. And in the sheet 2 we are having the same columns but we are having a different data here. Now the bot is reading both sheets and storing sheet 1 data in DT1 and sheet 2 data in DT2. So we are storing the sheet 1 data in DT1, which is data table, and storing the sheet 2 data in DT2, which is data table 2. Now the merged data table activity used to merge both data is shown below. Let's see the screenshot where the Excel application scope is used and the developer is using the read range activity to read the sheet 1 data and storing it into DT1, and for sheet 2 it is storing it into DT2. Basically it is storing the sheet 2 data in DT2. Now the merge data table activity is used where in the destination the DT1 is passed and in the source the DT2 is passed. In the end the developer is storing the result in the output sheet where the data table 2, which is DT2, is passed in the right range. Now what is the output of DT2 basically? The options is given as A, B, C, D, where in the A the sheet 2 data is printed. If you see the sheet 2, this is the sheet 2 data. So this is the data which is printed in the option A. In the option B, the sheet 1 data is printed, exactly the same data present in the sheet 1. So this is the sheet 1 data basically, which is present in the option B. In option C, the both data get merged. The sheet 1 data from Rahul to Shudhanshu and sheet 2 data from Akhilesh to Gaurav. In the D, the sheet is empty. I hope you have already guessed the answer. And the answer is A, which is the data of sheet 2 only. Now if you see the merge data table and in the property, the destination is passed as DT1 and the source is DT2 and the schema is selected is add. Now when the record is get merged for both DT1 and DT2, it is stored in the DT1. But if you see here in the right range, the DT2 is passed. So it has just printed the data of sheet 2. It has not printed the merge record but only the data of sheet 2. But if the dt1 is passed here, it will going to merge both the sheets and the output will be look like this. But for this question, the answer is A, which is the sheet 2 data. Now let's move to the studio to check this out. So this is our Excel application scope, and we are reading the both the sheets and storing the data in dt1, where add header property is checked here, and for the sheet 2 storing a data in dt2, where add headers property is checked here. Now in the merge data table, the dt1 is passed as the destination, schema is selected as add, source is dt2, and the right range we have passed as dt1. Now let me show you the Excel file also, where we are having this is the sheet 1 data we are having, and this is the sheet 2 data. And let me clear this output sheet, and if I'm going to run this now, as I'm using the Excel application scope, I don't need to close the Excel, and the output is printed as, sorry, I have to give here dt2 as per the question. Let me clear this again. I am running the bot again to see the results. Now if you see here, the sheet 2 data is printed as it is in the output sheet. Now hope this is clear. Now if I used here in the merge table, if I pass here the dt1, and if I'm going to run the bot again for this, just to verify like what will going to happen if I'm passing the dt1 here. If you see here, the both records is merged here. For sheet 1 we having the 1 2 3 4 columns is there. Now if you see here in the question, I believe the SR number is not there. Yes, so you can remove the, I have removed the SR number, and I think other columns are same. Let me run it again. Now if you see here, I have passed the dt1 here, and now the output is changed totally. From the sheet 1, all the record has been picked, as the age column is not present here, so these are the empty values. In the sheet 2, we are all the record has been updated here exactly the same, because the age column is present in the sheet 2 and the age is updated with the respective data. So the concept should be clear for the merge activities. There can be any type of question. They can fool you like to pass the dt2 instead of dt1 or dt1 instead of dt2, just to check your knowledge, like what will be the result. So you have to be clear. Just try to create some of the Excel files and try to use the merge data table activity on that particular Excel records. You have to create two sheets, and you have to give the data in sheet 1 and this in the sheet 2, and then you have to use the merge data table activity, and then you can just check this schema options, like what the ignore will do, what the error will do, what the add with key do. So this is all about the question 1. We're not going to waste some more time here. Let's move to the question 2, which will be not exactly the similar to this one, but yes, it is on the merge activity. Let me close this Excel. The question 2 is figure 1 have data of sheet 1 and figure 2 have data of sheet 2. So this is sheet 1, this is sheet 2, same as we have seen in the question 1. Bot is reading both sheet and storing sheet 1 data in DT1, sheet 2 data in DT2 as shown in figure 3. Now this is sheet 1 data and this is sheet 2 data, where bot is storing sheet 1 data in DT1 and sheet 2 data in DT2. Now let's see the figure 3. What is figure 3? Here Excel application scope is used, where we are reading both the sheets and storing a data in the respective data tables. Like for sheet 1 we are storing in DT1 and for sheet 2 we are storing in DT2. Invoke code is used here. Now invoke code, if you see here, the invoke code is used to set a primary key on ID column for DT1 and DT2 as shown in figure 4. Now basically we are setting the primary key for the data table 1 and data table 2. Now the column ID is been treated as a primary key for the data table 1, and here column ID is treated as a primary key for the data table 2. Now we have a primary key for both the data tables. Now let's move further. Then merge data table is used and then write range is used, where we are passing the DT1 and storing it into the output sheet. Now in the merge data table, in the merge data table property, missing schema action is selected as add as shown in figure 5. So this is figure 5 for merge data table, where destination is DT1, where we are passing the same DT1 here also. Now missing schema is add and source is DT2. Choose the correct output from the below options. Let's see the options. Now this is the first one, where let me okay, yeah, so this is the option A, where where the records from the sheet 1 has selected. If you see the sheet 1 record, so it's from employee 01 to 4, it's from, and this is basically from 4 5 6. Now from 1 to 4 is from sheet 1, so 1 to 4 is from sheet 1. Okay, 1 to 4 is from sheet 1, but if you see in the sheet 1 we don't have the roll number and the age column. We don't have the roll number and the age column because that we are having in the sheet 2 only. And this employee 004 Gaurav, this is basically a duplicate value in both the sheets, so bot is picking this value basically. Now if you see here in the option A, it has updated 23 here, then Akhilesh and Sanjeev. Now for the B, this is the output, where it has picked all the record from sheet 1, which is employee 01 to employee 04. Okay, and 5 and 6 is picked as it is, but here the age is blank. So here the bot is basically treating the sheet 1 Gaurav and here the sheet 2. But at both the places we don't have the duplicacy of the Gaurav. You see the unique record has been picked here. Now in the sheet C, we are having all the record from sheet 1, which is from 01 to 04, then all the records from sheet 2 as it is. Like sheet 1 we are having all the records, where in the sheet 1 we don't have roll number and age, so these are empties, but in sheet 2 we are having the age, so the age is updated with respect to records. Now similar way here, if you see the employee 0, from the sheet 1 all the record has been picked, but with respect to Gaurav the age 23 is updated. All the records from the sheet 2 is captured, where 23 is already present in the sheet 2 for Gaurav. So you have to choose the correct option here, which is little tricky, I know. I hope you have guessed your answer. This is answer B, where the bot has picked all the record from the sheet 1, and with respect to the Gaurav, the age is empty there, and it has picked 5 and 6, where Gaurav is basically a duplicate in both the tables, so it has put the Gaurav only once here. Now if I go back to the studio to see this scenario, let me open the sheet first. Let me clear the output sheet. This is sheet 1, where we are having the same record from employee 1 to employee 4, where employee 4 is Gaurav, which is present in the sheet 2 also. Here we are having the 3 records only, which is 5, 4, 6. Now if you see here, the age is present in the sheet 2 for Gaurav, but we don't have any columns for roll number and age here. Now if we going to run this particular case, where if let me show you first the sequence, where we are having the Excel application scope, read range activity is used, where I'm storing the sheet 1 data in DT1, where add headers is checked. For sheet 2, storing it into DT2, where add headers property is checked. In the invoke code activities, the DT1, the column ID is a primary key for the data table 1, and the similar way the ID is a primary key for the data table 2. I have passed the DT1 and DT2 where the direction is in, out. Now if you see the merge data table here, the destination is DT1, missing schema action is add, source is DT2. The similar way the DT1 is passed here. So in the question, I have missed to show these arguments also, but so these are basically in out arguments that I have passed here in the dt1 dot primary key. But sometimes in the question, if these argument has been shown and the directions are not proper, then you have to be careful in selecting the correct option. Now if I'm going to run this, and check the result, if you see here, all the result of the sheet 1 is printed here, and from the sheet 2, these 2 record has been picked, but this is not picked because this is a duplicate record. So this is the output of that question basically. Let me show you something else, like if you want to take out the records of the sheet 2 only, means if the in the question it has been given as that in the merge data table, here the dt2 is passed, here the dt1 is passed, and the right range the dt2 has been given, then what will be the output in that case? So we can check that also. Let me run it. If you see here, so bot will going to pick the records from the sheet 2 first. So it has picked all the records for the sheet 2, and then it picked the records for the sheet 1. So if you see here, it is giving the priority to the sheet which is the first one. So earlier it was sheet 1 which we are storing in dt1, and now the priority is sheet 2. So if you see the merge data table activity, the destination is dt2, so we have to focus on the destination only. So if the destination is dt2 where we are having a sheet 2 data in dt2, so the column will be picked first from the sheet 2, and if the duplicate is present in the sheet 1, the bot will not going to pick those, it will going to ignore those records. So if you see here, we are having all the records from the sheet 2 and only the 3 records from the sheet 1, because it has ignored the fifth record, which is Gaurav, and it is a duplicate. Now let me remove this. We can do some more R&D here. If I am let me revert it first. Let me make it dt1, dt2. Now what will going to happen if I am going to select the ignore? If I'm going to run it with the ignore option, then let's see what will going to happen. Now in the output, if you see, I have to pass a dt1 actually, just forgetted it. Let me clear it again. So in the merge data table, I'm passing the dt1 as a destination and the source as dt2, and the schema I have selected as ignore. Now if I'm going to run the bot, what will going to happen? Now if you see here, bot has given the priority for the sheet 1 column only. Now it has picked all the records for the sheet 1 and also for the sheet 2, but for only for those columns. It just ignore these columns. Now similar way, if I am going to make it dt2, the destination is dt2 now, and this is dt1, and if I pass the destination which is dt2, and if I'm going to run the bot now, let's see what will going to happen. Now if you see here, basically our destination is sheet 2, so it has picked all the columns for the sheet 2 and all the records, and for sheet 1 it has picked these columns, means these records for id and name. So now if I use this error, I'm just actually selecting the schema so that this will be more clear to you that what this schema basically is doing. Now if I run it, I've just changed the schema now. Now if you see here, nothing is happened, like it just printed all the records, because in sheet 2 we have all the columns, it just printed those columns, and in sheet 1 the same columns are present in sheet 2 also, so it found those columns and the exception has not occurred. But what happened if I make it dt1? I know this is little confusion, but try to do it by yourself, that will be more clear. Now in the dt1 we have the two columns here. If you see, we have the two columns here, and and here we have four columns, right? Now if I'm going to run this, I hope the sheet, and let me clear this also, output sheet. Now if I'm going to run this with the destination, we are having the dt1 now, it will going to throw an error now. And why, let I will tell you. You see the target table data table missing definition for column roll number. As the destination is dt1, the destination dt1, it is not having the roll number and age columns, so it is, the bot is not able to, is just giving the error message here, because whatever we are going to select in the destination, those same columns should be present in the source also, otherwise there will be an error. So this is all about the schemas and the merge data table activities. You can try out by yourself, only then this merge data table activity, things will be cleared. And if you have any doubt, then you can comment on my video and let me know if you like my video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, and have a great day. Bye bye.